And this is not your light. It's not the light of a charismatic personality. It's not a beloved pastor or an effective sort of charismatic, dynamic pastor. It's not a political figure. It's not a professor at a college. It's not. No, this is the light of Christ that shines in the darkness. I don't generate enough light to overcome your darkness. A rock star cannot generate enough light to overcome your darkness. Even the most charismatic figure doesn't know enough, isn't smart enough, isn't good enough to overcome your darkness. But the light of Christ is. And sometimes that light is as small and as frail as a flickering candle. That's why when you light that candle, it doesn't have to be a neon light. It doesn't have to be a spotlight. It doesn't have to be a blazing light. It's just a simple little light. But there's something about that simple little candle. It gives light enough by which to see. And when that light is lit, when that candle is lit, on Thursday night you will see this. I will then have you look around. And I will have you look at each other. It occurs to me we're sort of practicing for Thursday night in a way, which isn't bad. We will turn to each other. And that beautiful hue will be projected on every face. And it won't be garish. And it won't be gaudy. It'll be lovely and pure. And that is the light of Christ that shines in the darkness. And the darkness can never, ever overcome it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify to the light, so I might believe through him. He himself was not the light. Very, very important information there. He's not the light. Billy Graham is not the light. Mother Teresa is not the light. John the Baptist is not the light. The president of the Baptist General Convention of Texas is not the light. Jesus is the light. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light, the true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him, yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. But to all who received him, who believed in his name, he gave power to become children of God, who were born not of blood, or of the will of the flesh, or of the will of man, but of God. And Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and full of truth. It's very interesting to me that John the Baptist is mentioned in all four Gospels. John the Baptist is a seminal figure that we overlook too much. Ironically enough, as Baptist Christians, we overlook the role of John the Baptist. John the Baptist was a prophet and had a following. John the Baptist had disciples. The Scripture says so. You remember that. And the Baptist is looking for Messiah. Remember when he comes to Jesus and says, "Are you the one?" Do you remember this? "Are you the one, or should we wait on someone else to come?" Now, why did he say that? Anybody, why did he say that? John the Baptist. Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to lay it all on the line for some charlatan. And I've been preaching against Herod, and he's about to put my carcass in jail, and I'll probably lose my life. And I'd rather not do that unless you're the real one. Y'all with me? I'd just soon not go through all that. If you're not the anointed one, if you're not the long-awaited one. John the Baptist is a hero of New Testament faith because he sees things that nobody else sees. And all four Gospels mention the baptizer. And he announces to prepare the way for the Lord, to make the path straight for God, rough places becoming smooth, crooked places becoming straight, high places being lowered, low places being raised, so that the path to the Lord can be made straight. And so that everyone can see, to mix two gospel traditions, that light of Christ that shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. I'll close with this image. And you West Texans that live out on the edge of West Texas and on the edge of the prairie can relate to this. At our place in Desdemona, I can sit on my front porch. And on Friday night, I can look to the west and I can see stadium lights in Gorman. And I just follow down, I go a little further, and I see some lights, I don't know, long about De Leon. And I go a little further to the east, and I can see some lights in Dublin. And I go a little bit further to the east, almost due east, 23 miles, and I see Stephenville. Because in the place where we live, you can see a long way. You can see a light for a long way. Some of you have lived on the high plains. Don, you lived in Midland. Paul, you lived in Plainview. I lived in Lubbock. Even truer there. I mean, you can see a light for 25 miles. Or however long the horizon is. What's the horizon? 10 miles? That's longer than that. What is it? 80 miles. Like out on an ocean. And when I'm mixing passages here, but when the way to the Lord is made straight, you make that straight. And that's our obligation, like the baptizer did. Don't put a lot of crooked stuff between me and the light. I may not see it. Don't put a lot of high hills between me and Jesus. Don't make me overcome a lot of obstacles. I don't know what that is. Don't make me come in here and rehearse and recite the Westminster Catechism. I'm not going to get it all right. Don't make me give you regurgitate back to you the Baptist faith and message. I'm not going to get every sentence of that right. Don't make me jump through hoops. Don't meet me at the door with a lot of requirements. Don't make me over in your image. You just make the way straight and let the light shine, which usually for me means I need to get out of the way so that God's light can shine and so that you can see it. And then I'll know that there's no darkness in my life that can overcome that light. And I'll know the true one, the true light, coming into the world.